everybody, welcome to Success Made Simple. I am so excited to be demonstrating this for you today because it means so much that we've finally gotten to the second step of this journey in creating and building on your goals. And it started with creating the vision. As you guys saw in the previous video, we talked a lot about how to start and how to create the vision for you to have something to really set the foundation for where it is that you're trying to go. And this video here, you see I have a whiteboard behind me. It's because we're going to lay this thing out step by step so that we can go through and actually take what you envision and what you put together on your paper and put it actually on a systematically drawn out diagram that you can start doing actually on paper. You don't have to have a whiteboard, but you can start doing this on paper at home, and it'll actually help you to lay out what it is that you need to do in order to accomplish your goals. All right, so I want to go back to some of the visions that I had talked about before. One of the things that I had gone through a while back was a divorce, and there was a period of time where I went through this whole process of trying to figure out, who I was again, because I'd gotten so wrapped up in the marriage, like anybody should, that you kind of forget about yourself and who you are. And I thought that maybe if I figured that out, that it would help to save my marriage. So I went through a phase of depression, and then I came out of that, and then I went through a phase of self-discovery. And one of the things that helped me was to have a vision of wanting to get back to myself. And after I set a very clear vision of what it was that I wanted to do and what I wanted to discover, I started seeking out things that were going to help me, that were going to benefit me. So one of the things that I looked to was reading. This is a book called The Love Dare. And this book, actually, for anybody that's having issues in a relationship, read this book, okay? It's complementary to the movie Fireproof, but this book here really helped me to develop a sense of what it was to be in a relationship and what you needed to do in order to attain the love that you're looking for. And this book actually helps you to build on some of the things that I've talked to you about, which is that you need to give to get. So The Love Dare. If you're in relationship issues, go pick this up, please. Also, financially, I wanted to try and establish myself because I wasn't the one that took care of the finances, so it was really hard for me to put myself on a financial budget, to not go out and eat at all the fine steakhouses and stuff, just because there wasn't that second income. So I seeked out and found Dave Ramsey. This is the Total Money Makeover, and this book actually helped me to get my life in order and to get a lot of my debt paid off. I didn't follow through all the way 100% just because my priorities had changed and my income had changed also. So it wasn't necessarily something that I needed to do as far as following through on the financial budget and diet from that perspective. But it's a very, very, very powerful book. And there's also some other changes that I went through physically. I went through a physical metamorphosis where I dropped 80 pounds. And, one of the things, if you guys don't know, I'm a Beachbody coach. And recently I just finished up P90X3, and they provide to you this extreme fitness accelerated nutrition guide that goes through, and it has the nutrition values of all these different foods, and it talks about the different menu items and how to put together these different dressings, and it goes through macronutrients and stuff. And then on the flip side, it shows you all the different workouts and the movements and what equipment that you're going to need, and it's building a foundation for stuff. And then they send you this handy dandy calendar that you can mark up, and it has all the workouts in there that you're supposed to do for those days. And it helps you to keep track and stay accountable to this stuff. Another thing that I wanted to do was to start my own business, and I needed to get through the mindset of how to become a millionaire and some of the things that I wanted to accomplish in my life. And the self-limiting doubts that I had grown up with for the majority of my life had me believing that I wasn't capable of doing what I needed to. So I went and picked up Think and Grow Rich. Now this is actually the workbook to Think and Grow Rich. It works hand in hand with the actual book. but it goes through and it actually breaks things down a little bit more in detail, and there's different things that you need to do in here to actually define your plans, and you know, there's activities that you actually do rather than just reading the book and not understanding how to put the stuff together. You know, along with my workouts, one of the things that I had always heard from Tony Horton was, how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you've been? So these right here, every single sheet of paper that you see right here, every piece of paper is from when I first started out up until today, of every rep, every weight, how the weight felt, if I needed to increase weight or decrease weight with what I was lifting, how many different sets that I did, how many different movements that I did for each muscle group, and the date, and I even got into how many calories I was burning for each different workout. You know, so I was doing weightlifting and then I was doing cardio at the same time. So why I'm showing you this is it's very important to understanding how we become successful at stuff. The power of repetition obviously is very important. If you want to lose weight, you've got to work out consistently, but you also have to eat healthy and you have to do all this stuff. But when you first start out, it's like, okay, I'm overweight and I want to lose this weight. Well, your vision is, I see myself as the skinny person, or I see myself as somebody who has muscles, or I see myself as just being healthy and fit. But if you don't have the tools, if you don't have the tools to get you there, that'll help you build a plan, how do you succeed? Well, I don't know, you tell me. I would guess that you've tried some stuff, maybe even New Year's resolutions. If you're old enough to watch this video, I'm assuming that you've done it on a few occasions. New Year's resolutions comes along, and you know, New Year's comes along, it's time to make those resolutions up, and yeah, I'm gonna attack this and I'm gonna do it. And you have a great vision, but you probably didn't follow through. I'm guessing. I'm only basing it on experience for myself because I know that I created them. So, you know, we have the vision, but we don't build the plan. And these tools help you to get there, and that's what this is going to be. This is going to be the tool to actually break down any goal that you want to achieve into easy steps that you can implement now, today, that will help you to attain your goals. So I want to do a little bit of brainstorming with you. This is what I go through when I'm actually building up my goals and some of the things that I want to accomplish. So there's two ways that you can do this, okay? Some people like to see things in a list form. Other people like to see things as a picture, okay? Well, I mean, let's do it both ways because I can handle these pretty quickly. So let's say list form. Number one, your ultimate vision down here is you want to lose 100 pounds. All right, so that's our end result. That's our goal down there. What is it going to take in order for us to lose 100 pounds? Well, you got to work out, right? That's pretty easy. 2, you have to eat healthy. Right? Okay. 3, you need to change your lifestyle. 4, probably need to go buy some new clothes, right? 5, you're gonna need some motivation. I mean, how else do you stay on task if you don't have the motivation, right? You can't work out if you don't have the right clothing. Obviously, there's gonna be a huge lifestyle change. You're not gonna be able to eat the same fast foods and some other stuff. You're gonna need to start eating healthy, and you know, you need to work out. So that's awesome. That can potentially lead us to get to 100 pounds, right? 100 pounds lost. Let's throw something else in there. You're gonna need supplements. You know, you're tearing down your muscle tissue, and you know, you're beating yourself up day in and day out. The eating healthy and ingesting good food is great, but you're gonna need additional sources of protein and you may need some multivitamins and some other stuff. Now I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I want you to understand that you have a vision, losing 100 pounds. Now we lay out the steps of what it's going to take for us to get there, okay? And this is so critical. And the reason why I say that is because in order for us to move out of fear of looking at that huge goal down here of losing 100 pounds, to move away from that big vision of losing 100 pounds, we got to break it down. It has to be broken down to consumable chunks, because if you just attack that, you end up like you always have with your New Year's resolutions and you quit. So if you go back and you lay this stuff out, you can actually start building the foundation that you need to get to that point. So now this is the first step to this. This is really what it takes. You break it down, you brainstorm, and you list out, I don't know, I'd say 5 to 10 ideas of what it would take for you to accomplish this goal. So now we look at workouts, all right? Now what I want to do is I want to break this down even further. So let's look at workouts. And I'm going to highlight workouts over here. Actually, let me do it in a different color. All right, so the workouts that I want to do. Well, do I have a gym membership? I can look at that. Maybe you don't have the finances for that. I, as a Beachbody coach, will offer you a program that I've done before, doing some great cardio, which will actually help you to lose weight in Turbo Fire. So work out at home. And I'm actually biased to Turbo Fire because my mentor is the one that is in that video. She's awesome, by the way, kick ass. So you can work out at home. Now, do you need weights? I don't know. If you're going to work out at home, you may need some weights or bands. You're going to need some. Gloves, possibly. You're going to need some straps, maybe, if you're going to be lifting heavy. If you're a guy and you're going to be lifting, heavier dumbbells. So you either have a gym where you're going to need some of the stuff. You get either weights or bands. If you buy these programs from Beachbody, they actually will supply you with some of the resistance bands and stuff. So now we've looked at the workouts and we said, okay, I know that I can either go into the gym and lift heavy, right, or lift weights. And ladies, there's a whole misconception. I don't want to get into the fitness side of things right now, but there's this misconception that if you lift weights, you're going to get all buff and stuff like that. Listen, it takes years to do that, not to mention the fact that your body counteracts the testosterone that you release, the very little bit that you release with the estrogen. So you're not going to get bulky if you lift weights. But get a gym membership. Well, now you got to look at your finances, right? So that's a lifestyle change potentially. You may have to cut out some parts of your financial diet in order to supplement the money to go to your gym. If you work out at home, it's a one-time investment. You buy the programs and you get to work out from home, and you get the weights and the bands, and you even get some of the supplements. The gloves and straps, again, they're not necessary unless you're going to do a certain type of workout. But now I've broken these things down and I said, okay, I understand now what kind of workouts I'm going to do. And if that's the case, let's say you're going to go to the gym. Break that down even further. Hey, what workout programs, what are you going to do? If you're working arms one day, if you're working legs one day, if you're working your back one day, if you're working your shoulders one day, what movements are you going to do? Research that, educate yourself on it before you actually go do it. Why pay a personal trainer a couple $100 a day, a session, for something that you can actually educate yourself on and then go into the gym and know exactly what you're going in there to do? I mean, it's relatively easy if you just seek it out. Google.com, okay? It's a very powerful tool. If you're going to work out at home, research Turbo Fire, research other cardio programs. There's Focus T25, Insanity, P90X. I mean, all these different workouts that you can do from home, right there in the comfort of your own home. You get all, caca mouth, and you got the booger still in your eyes and stuff in the morning. But hey, if that's your time to get up and do it, go do it. You don't have to worry about what you look like. Don't put your hand up, bud, and let's go. Or guys, dude, I mean, just drink your pre-workout and have at it. All right. Again, just breaking it down. You can do research on gloves and straps or on the weights and bands. I personally went out and bought this huge rack of weights and spent like $600 on them. And then I found this thing from Bowflex. It's like 10 to 90 pounds, and it was $700 with the stands, and it takes up literally a third of the room that all of these weights do. It was a dumb investment, but I didn't do any of the research beforehand, so I spent double the money, and my bad. Now I got to sell the other stuff on Craigslist. All right. So I've taken the steps and I've broken that down. So now let's say I want to break this down even further. I want to go to the next one, and I want to eat healthy. Well, what does it mean to eat healthy? And where can I find information on eating healthy? I don't know. You're on YouTube, right? That's a good possibility. Why don't you type into the YouTube search bar, eat healthy? Or why don't you go on Instagram and ask me? Because I can actually build you macro plans. Or why don't you look up gym workouts, or go to Shailene Johnson's Instagram page. She has workouts on there that you can do, and she has a 7-day challenge that you can get involved in. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Go on to Facebook. I'm sure that just about everybody has a Facebook, right? So go on to Facebook. Or how about good old Google.com? Very simple. Go on Google, type in healthy eating, eating clean, all the different things that you would find as far as menus and recipes and all that stuff is concerned is all there. If you buy these programs, like I said, they give you a guide that breaks it all down for you, so you don't even have to go through this. You just follow the guide, it's already there. Again, lifestyle changes, the clothing, on and on and on. You go through to do this, okay? So now let's change the basis for this, and let's say your vision is to make $1 million. All right, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, myself, I'd love to have $1 million in liquid assets in the bank. I actually recorded a video or an audio recording that plays every day on my phone at 7 a.m. and my sons hear it all the time. That I say that I want to have $1 million in liquid assets by a certain date. Okay, now I'm not going to go into all those details, but let's say $1 million in liquid assets. All right, that's what I want to have in my bank account. Well, how am I going to get there? Obviously, one, I have a good job, right? J-O-B. Again, if you want to build somebody else's dream by working for them and not building your own, go ahead and do that. Two, you start your own business. Okay, do a startup business. What can you do? I don't know. What do you have skills in? We'll break that down in a little bit here. Three, you can panhandle. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Four, you can start an internet company. I don't know. Again, I mean, list these things out, okay? I don't want to go crazy and make this retarded, but anyways, list out exactly what it is that you want as far as how you think that you're going to attain that level of financial independence. All right, that's a very, very good word for it. I got that from Dave Ramsey. It's financial independence. Now, if we can break this down even further, if you have a good paying job, or if you want to advance in your job, how are you going to get there? Well, one, you got to educate yourself, right? And a lot of people think, well, I got to go get back in school, or that's the only way to get ahead. How about you become a professional and an expert at your job? How about you learn some of the simple things like spreadsheets, or diagrams, or if you're a photographer and you want to do things, how about you learn new ways to do things in Photoshop? If you're a web designer, how about you learn some of the new things in PHP? Or if you're a fitness professional, how about you go and get some certifications? I mean, there's all these different things that you can do based on what it is that your current job is. Same thing if you're doing a startup. I mean, if you're doing a startup, I'm gonna take all these off now. Let's say you're running your own business from home, and I've had a few businesses myself. I was a photographer at home. Actually, I shot sports action photography, and I did some private events for people where I would go out and shoot different events at clubs and stuff like that. And I would also do dance studios. Okay, so they would have like these different performances and stuff like that, and I would actually take pictures of the girls prior to them going on stage. So if I had my own startup photography business, obviously I need to understand P&L. P&L is it's my labor costs and all my product costs and all my development costs and everything that goes into that. I need to understand what all of my startup costs are. What are all of my overhead costs? Overhead in regards to the different tools that I'm going to need. Some of the photography stuff that I have, I'm actually using here right now. I have umbrellas and I have lighting. I have tripods, my background. You know, those different things were a requirement of me having the business, and understanding that from a financial perspective. You know, taxes and liability. What are your liabilities? And the other thing is, how much are you going to charge people? So all of these different things break down. You know, if I'm running a startup company that I'm, you know, just creating out of the ground, what do I need to understand in order to manage that business? And now you can start breaking down each one of those independently. Okay, so as you can see, basically what we're doing is good old brainstorming. Some of the stuff that we learned, well, at least I learned back, I think it was in the 3rd grade from my teacher, Chris Carey. Thank you very much for that, by the way. So in the middle, you have your vision of exactly what it is that you want. Some people like to see it in diagram form. Then you have X, Y, Z, A, B. Okay, so there's all these different things. These are the different goals, the outer goals that will inevitably get you to that vision, right? Well, each one of these goals is going to have sub-goals. X dot 1, X dot 2, Y dot 1, Y dot 2, okay? And if you break that down even further, these are going to have other supporting goals. Here, 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 here. So you can see that we don't just jump into the actual vision itself. We don't just get to that point. We don't say, all right, I want to work from home. I want to, but you heard my vision before. I see myself waking up in the morning. I look outside out my balcony and I'm looking at the ocean outside, and you know, it's an awesome view, and I smell the salt air from the ocean, and you know, this grandiose vision that I have, right? That's awesome. That one day that will be where I will wake up and what I will experience. But there's work that has to be done in order for me to get there. And what I want to show you is you start with that vision. That is the most important thing, because that's going to tell you what you're trying to attain. What is it that you're going for? And then there's going to be these individualized goals that you're going to set in order to attain that vision. Okay, whatever it is that you want to do. Again, if it's career centered, if it's maybe around getting a home, a certain home that you want. If it's around getting healthy and losing weight. If it's around building a better relationship. And you have all these other things that you're going to need to work on in order to attain that vision. And then there's other things that are below that you'll need to focus on in order to get to these goals, okay? And they'll continue to break themselves down. You can break it down to a granular level. And we're going to actually do that later on down the line, where you're going to see how it is that right now you probably have a job. You probably work 8 to 10 hours a day. You may have kids. You've got to cook. You've got to clean. You've got to keep the house in order. You may be in a relationship, in a marriage, or whatever. And time is hard to find. Time is a very valuable tool. It's probably the most valuable thing that you have. Your time is invaluable. And the only way that we can do this is by structuring it properly. And if you go back to the goals to the vision that I had given you on how to attain your goals, you'll see that you actually have to set a schedule. I don't want you to focus on that right now. Really get your head around this, okay? This is success made simple. This is the premise of what it is that I'm trying to teach everybody that watches these videos. When you set the vision and you create the outlining goals, and then you break those goals down even further, that's when you reach what it is that you're trying to attain. That's when you become great. That's when you do what it is that you need to do in order to accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And I hope that this video served you. I hope that you learned something great today. I hope that maybe you could take this and take the vision that you've already created and break that down even further. And if you found it of use, or if you found that somebody else can benefit from this, please share it. Share it on your walls. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know exactly what it is that you're trying to attain. Let me know some of these different outlining goals that you came up with and what your big vision is and what you intend on doing. And if you don't want to share it publicly, you can always reach me by email. My email address will be down in the info section down there, right above the comment section. Please subscribe to my page. There's going to be more videos coming out soon, and I've got some surprise announcements that may be coming out in like the next couple of videos. So I'll talk to you guys about it then. Anyways, please be great today. Serve others, give to others, and get a return. All right? Have a great day. We'll talk to you guys later.